no, I don't want you to record the guitars any longer because I want to keep the demo guitars that you're recording. And he's like, no. And I'm like, yay.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Ethereal Metal, and today I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by the incredible Tarja Turunen. Tarja, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. It's truly an honor to have you, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. But before we start, I actually don't have a question yet. I just wanted to say thank you, not simply for taking the time to do this interview, but for continuing to challenge yourself as an artist. It would have been incredibly easy to spend the last 20 plus years recreating the version of Tadia that people already knew and loved. But instead, you've continued taking risks, evolving, creating music that asks listeners to evolve with you. While reviewing Frisson Noir, I found myself appreciating not only the music itself, but your willingness to keep uh, growing when so many artists eventually become comfortable repeating themselves. So before we begin, just thank you for continuing to choose curiosity over comfort.
No, hey, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I've said this many times that I do hate repeating myself.
uh,
Because
absolutely.
yeah, you hear it. And thank you for telling me all that. Beautiful. Really appreciate it. Uh, it is really a fact that it would be easier to go what I've already done, you know. Um, but I'm a person. I wanna evolve and I wanna progress and I want to learn and I want to, you know, clean the dust from the table in a way that, I don't wanna let it die. That motivation, that inspiration that music still today gives me. I mean, it's a fact that you can never learn everything from music, and it has always something new to teach you. And that's a beautiful thing, keeps me really going. And yeah, if I have written a certain kind of song in my past records, my I don't want to do the same again. Of course, it is absolutely challenging and it's absolutely like in the process of production and in the process of writing and everything. Of course, I face enormous challenge always, but I love the challenge. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
is that satisfaction that really fulfills me when things gets done. And I mean, I also enjoy so much of my team that the musicians I work with, they feel the same. You know, it would be rather horrifying to work with a guitar player that would always give me the same riff than he did, or,
over and over again.
all over again, on
Yeah,
repeat.
for sure.
It would be really like, but cannot we just look around, try something else? It would be really difficult, but
Yeah, yeah,
we understand each other and it's absolutely amazing. And then you hear that on the record because of course of course my albums, my songs, they would never be as they are without these incredible guys that I have. Mm.
absolutely, absolutely. So I do have one question. You've probably done what? Thousands of interviews over the years. Yeah. Um, so I have one request. If I accidentally ask you the 3,000th version of a question you've already answered thousands of times, you have full permission to just smile and say next.
Okay, I'll do that, thank you.
But no, seriously. One of the things that struck me about Frisson Noir is that it never feels like it's just a collection of songs,
Mm.
but rather it feels like you're stepping entirely into a different world. Every sound, every orchestration, every moment seems to invite the listener deeper and deeper inside this world. When did you realize you weren't simply writing songs anymore, but actually creating places where people could emotionally inhabit?
Well, that I was seeking for the frisson. I was seeking for this
Yeah.
goosebumps through the whole process of the album. Ever since I finished writing these songs with my piano, they were really very naked piano demos. I mean, only the piano and the vocal with the without any lyrics. There was not necessary the frisson in every time when the composing part was done, kind of, except in a song like At Sea, I felt that. Except in a song like Anemoia, I
Mm,
felt that already at that time. But then when it comes to production, when I start talking with my musicians and giving them the ideas, this kind of direction, I want to take this song here, and here comes the orchestration and blah, blah, blah. There was very important that I dig deep and what I can put there in order to make people feel. And that's because if I feel it, I've always felt that frisson since I was a very little kid. Music has always given me that emotional kick
yeah.
and and physical sensation. It has made me weep and made me happy and made me feel something, you know. And I want to make people feel something with my songs, whether it is a sadness that you feel through it or you feel a relief or whatever it is that you feel. It doesn't need to be the same feeling. And it cannot be the same feeling for everyone.
Of course.
It has
Yeah.
been one feeling for me in the creation, and then the rest, there is no right or wrong, you know, the outcome. But that frisson, it was very important. And then that's why we really carefully thought about the productions and added the layers that need to be there. But I have this in with the orchestrations is easier for me sort of achieve that. I don't know what it is, but with the symphonic orchestra and choir, it's easier for me to get there. That the orchestra has all these layers, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and it's like in all the soundtracks and everything in the movies when the orchestra is taking you with, it's like you look the same image without the music and you wouldn't feel like that. But the orchestra has that kind of sensitivity of taking you in. And combine that orchestra with the heavy riffing guitars and heavy sounding band. It's a challenge, but it's great when it works. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Mm.
That's incredible. And that world that was created feels incredibly intentional as well. And while reviewing the album prior to release, I kept coming back to one thought. This album feels like your past, your present, and your future all colliding in real time. When you listen to it now, which version of Tadia do you hear the loudest? Was it the woman who once dreamed of becoming an artist, the artist who conquered the world, or the woman that you're still becoming?
Okay. That's a beautiful one. Thank you. I love this. Uh, it is very present. It's a present me. It's a present me who doesn't really know where the world will take me, where this life will take me still, you know.
Yeah,
And I kind of like that unawareness in a way that I don't know. I can plan my future for the few years ahead of me, you know, I need
sure.
to. I've
Yeah,
always done that. But it's nice not to know. So if yeah, I wouldn't like to see my future, you know, if somebody would read it to me like this is what I'm gonna this is what's gonna happen to you. I wouldn't like that in a way. I wanna
yeah,
live very much in the present by knowing I'm working for the future, all right. But and always heading to the future. But no, I don't wanna know. But this album is really who I am today. It is a mm, yeah, it's a very much so a reflection of myself today as an artist
yeah.
and it's very fulfilling to it was a very fulfilling for me to finish this album and see that I can listen these songs without being judging myself. It
Yeah,
first
yeah,
in a way it was the first time ever happening to me that I was confident with this album, like as it is. And I said, okay, I've come this far, and this is who I am, and it's okay. I'm
yeah,
okay with
yeah.
it. Mm.
That's great. That's great. And it also made me think about something else I noticed while listening. But first, I have to admit something. When I first read that Frisson Noir was being described as your heaviest album to date, I was a little skeptical. But sometimes statements like that can become part of the promotional process surrounding an album. And I remember thinking, all right, that's cool. We'll see. But about two songs in, though, I realized I could not have been more wrong. And I actually laughed at myself because I had completely underestimated not just the musical heaviness, but really the emotional depth that came with the album as well. So that brings me to the question, when people describe music as heavy, do you
Mm.
think they're sometimes listening with their ears instead of their hearts?
Mm. Yeah, could be very well. Yeah,
Yeah.
could very well be. And where we are heading, it's even more that people listen with their ears instead of their hearts.
Oh,
That
yes.
is hard. That's
Yes.
very hard to take
Yeah.
in because it's really where we are heading with all the AI and technology and everything,
Yes.
the songwriting. And you see, it was really shocking for me some time ago. I was checking that all the Grammy winners, the real winners that are winning the Grammys today, and how many people they have in the songwriting team. Like the songs that are getting all the prizes, the Grammys of today, they are like 11 songwriters in per song. And I'm like,
Yes. Yes. Like, what is going on?
what? What is this? And it's crazy, like
Yeah.
teams and
Yeah.
like, it's so odd. And I am so conservative, old timer in a way. I wanna survive alone in the process. So like I wanna see myself succeeding. I'm so different. I feel very different with music and everything. It's very for me. It's so personal. Everything very personal. Even
Yeah.
though I love collaborating with my guys and writing songs with my guitar players or
Sure. Yeah.
orchestrators, and I love that. But I'm like, they're my babies, or I feel very naive in a way. They
Uh-huh.
are my songs. I don't want to, let it out there because then my emotions they will go where they will be. I mean, I need to take a
Yeah.
control. I need to take a control and be in control, and it's very important to me. And but where we are heading, everything sounds the same, more or less. It's very hard to listen something new that would give you the frisson, or like something very deep that you will say, "Oh, I need to listen this more than once. I want to
Yeah.
repeat and I want to go
Yeah.
back, listen to it again." It's very hard. It's not happening all the time anymore.
Right. Right.
Those were the good old times where there was a good music. You know, oh, it's
Probably
so,
scratch up the CD playing it over and over again, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, what was that? I want to listen to it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, speaking of emotional reactions, the word frisson describes that involuntary chill, like we talked about, or emotional rush that people experience when something beautiful or overwhelming touches them. You've spent decades creating those moments for other people. So, I have to ask you, can you remember the last time that you experienced genuine frisson? Not as the artist creating it, but simply as another human being?
Last time,
Yeah.
yes, we had some actually not necessarily the most beautiful frisson, but we lost some very dear people in these last couple of days. It's been quite a many losses, and so that has given me that kind of reason that thinking about these people we've lost, all the good things about them, and
Yeah,
that was a very deep reason for me to feel very grateful and that kind of love pouring in. It was a beautiful reason. Yeah. So it was,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad to see that. I'm very sorry for, yeah. And artists spend so much of their lives chasing perfection. Has there ever been a performance or a recording where something technically imperfect actually revealed something that was deeper?
Oh, like not in my productions, but in somebody else's, or what do you
No, for
mean?
yours, for yours.
Like mine?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah. Well, for example, Alex recording for in the Raw album, my previous record,
yeah.
he was recording demo guitars, and I absolutely love that sound of his demo recording. And and when it came to the time to re-record the guitars for the album, obviously, we set up a session and everything, and then I tell him, mm, no, I don't want you to record the guitars any longer because I want to keep the demo guitars that you're recording. And he's like, no. And I'm like, yay. And so in the raw, there are his
It's really
demo
in the
guitar.
raw.
Yeah, in the raw. So
Yeah,
at that time, working on that album, it was really like I felt like, oh no, no, less is more. Oh, that imperfection, yeah, became perfection for me.
yeah, absolutely.
But also on this record, in Frisson Noir, there are obviously oh I don't sing perfectly in tune. There are places I left completely out of tune, which is kind of like every time when I listen to those songs, there are a few of them, and moments I know that okay, yeah, what the fuck, I didn't fix it. Okay, right, all right. So it's the feeling that I had in the moment I was singing that part, and yeah, it went a little off. So does it really matter at the end of the day?
Right. Yeah.
So it needs to be there just because of the feeling that the part had and the lyrics and everything. So it was correct at the time, and then I didn't go and change it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to go through that kind of, you need to just, just, okay, where is the limit where I can say, as a producer, okay, I don't do this. No, I don't go and re-record it. I need to draw a line and say, okay, it's good enough. It's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of those moments for me that really grabbed my attention was the vocal layering, or I should say the reverse vocal layering in Blaze Forever. Creates this unsettling feeling, kind of sort of almost what you were talking about, where like vocals might be slightly out of tune, um, but almost like hearing a memory or a whisper or a thought that we're never really meant to hear. It's
Yeah.
really subtle, but it completely changes the emotional atmosphere already in an already explosive song. When you're making creative decisions like that, are you thinking about what listeners consciously notice, or are you hoping to reach something much deeper, something more subconscious that they might not be able to explain?
I love working with the vocal arrangements. I love, in general, adding layers of things and hidden things on my records because I know many of my fans, they are really digging deep in and
Yeah,
really getting finding out. They want to find out everything. And I am myself a music fan like that. When I listen a new
sure.
songs from Peter Gabriel every full moon when he's now releasing his new songs. I am going there. I'm
Yeah,
like, what is he? What did he do? Oh, wow. Okay.
love Peter Gabriel. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm doing the same, and I am a music fan, so I am doing the same. So in my own productions, I love doing that too. So I want to make people to discover things later on because I know that I'm challenging my listeners with my songs. Obviously, this record is not something that will open up in a first listener listening, and it's fine. It's
yeah,
like that. It's never been either like that with my records. That they are complicated records, and but that's how I feel music in general because of the challenges that I am facing myself, but also that I wanna challenge my listeners along
yeah,
with
yeah.
my art.
I recently just saw online somebody had taken a clip of the song where the lyrics were reversed, and they actually reversed the entire track so that they could hear the lyrics moving forward instead.
I knew
Yeah,
I knew this was gonna happen one
yep,
point. Yeah, I
yep.
knew
I
it.
just saw it. I think it was maybe 2 days ago. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, so they
But
were looking for it.
it
Yeah,
was like a color for me in that particular song because the song it deals with the fact that like the olden times where we had a witch hunt and all the
yeah,
society being against you and your be- just because they do not understand who you are or you've gotten bullied by the fact that people many times the bullying happening is happening because they don't understand you and or they're afraid of you and you're being different, you're being you, but the society and the people around you, they don't get you. And then they throw you the, you know,
yeah.
darts. It's really like that. So I wanted to kind of have that reverse vocals there as a reminder of this all this chit-chatting bullshit that is happening around all the time around us. People tend to talk too much
Yeah.
without really. I hate it. I really don't like it. And so better be quiet if you do not know or understand instead of.
Yeah, it's just too much noise. Too much noise. Yeah, yeah. One thing that I admired most going throughout the record also was Jeremy Levy's orchestrations, together with the Budapest Art Orchestra, Budapest Art Choir. Never felt like decoration to me, but and they weren't simply accompanying the songs, uh, but they feel like another voice within them. At what point does the orchestra, the symphony, at what point does it stop becoming an instrument, and when does it start becoming another storyteller?
Well, in a song like At Sea, it is another
Yeah,
storyteller. Completely, I worked very hard with Jim Dooley with the orchestrations because this song was like a I painted pictures in my head when I was writing the song. It was very clear to me where what was happening, and when I got to finish the lyrics, it was very clear to me what the orchestra should be doing. So, but he is amazing guy. Jim Dooley is like incredible orchestrator, and he knows me as well very well already with all the productions we've been doing together, even few Christmas records and everything. We've been working closely hand in hand, like ever since my first record, he's been there for me and with me. So it's very
yeah.
easy for me to make him understand what I'm really looking for with the orchestrations and there in that song particularly the orchestra is like a storyteller, but then on the other songs, uh, songs like Frisson Noir, for example,
Yeah.
there the orchestra is another color, is another color that goes along with me and the rest. It has a different spacing also. I need to very carefully think in my productions where I give more space for the orchestra, where the guitars take over, and like that all the time. It depends very much on the song.
Leap of Faith with Marko Hietala never felt nostalgic to me. It felt more like hearing two artists who had continued growing separately before naturally finding each other again. Likewise with I Don't Care, Dani Filth, Tango featuring members of Apocalyptica, all bring completely different colors and personalities into the album without ever feeling forced. What have collaborations taught you about yourself that you don't think you could have discovered alone?
Mm. It's always interesting to collaborate. I love collaborations. You've seen me doing it a lot on my records, and I also been, jumping into collaborations myself as an artist, been requested many times, and I get requests all the time to collaborate. It's just time is my enemy, the
Yeah.
biggest enemy. It's hard to find time, but what has been the oof, that's tough. we are kind of all looking for the sort of same end results, but we are going through different ways, ways to record. For example, when it comes to vocals, mm, unfortunately, when you are collaborating, you're never really nowadays. You are in distance, always working in distance. You don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to be in the same room with your partner in crime in a way that you, like with Danny, for instance, he was recording. I think he was doing 3 days of recordings in England, and
yeah,
I was at home just waiting for the files. Like seriously, like that. It's it's sad that we don't get to be together any longer,
yeah.
which I am trying to change in the future. I have some plans already, but
Oh,
yeah, but because I really enjoy the only there's so many things can happen when you are like this working with a person,
yeah,
another
yeah,
crazy mind with you in the same room.
yeah,
It's crazy. The good things can happen, but we are trying to look for the same end result, just in different ways. And I have my ways of recording and my ways of finding my journey rather than, of course, I always, if I am myself producing my record and asking somebody to invite them, then I'm also the one that is directing the person.
yeah,
But
yeah,
every collaborator is there because of who they are, because how they sound or what they bring along or the feeling that they give me. Oh, they have a reason to be. And these songs, at the beginning of the record, when I started writing the songs for the record, I only had in mind one duet, and it was the Leap of Faith, that I knew that was going to be a song with Marko. So I needed to write a song for Marko. It was completely different process of songwriting. I've never done that
yeah,
because I've always finished writing songs without even knowing that they are duets or, wow, who is going to be there, if anyone. So I never knew really actually of asking Dani Filth or Apocalyptica to join to my record until the songs were there and until it felt like that, like I need these guys there.
sure, yeah, no. And there were also two lyrics that really stayed with me long after I was done listening through the promo. In Tango, you sing right in the beginning, actually, in the news, a life reduced to ink. Then in I Don't Care, you declare, I don't care what stories they create. Whether intentional or not, those lines almost feel like they're interconnected to me. One reflects how easily a person's life can be reduced to nothing but a headline, while other refuses to let outside narratives define who they truly are. After living so much of your life in the public eye, has protecting your own truth become one of the greatest acts of freedom?
Yes, my life has changed radically because of an headline.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
even needed to leave my home country because of headlines.
yeah,
So, yes, definitely. My freedom, my truth, my freedom, my decisions, my life is no one else, is
yeah.
mine. And yes, I've been always criticized. I've always had that, but I've always or never really, okay, I have always cared. I am not dead person inside. I'm very sensitive, actually. I care and I get hurt by all that criticism if it's not really having any grounds in a way.
Sure. Yeah,
But I have always followed anyway my heart and my feelings, and I've always found who I am at the end of the day. So I've never really let myself die in the process of, I gotten the rocks hit and, I received them.
stronger than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's really like and that is what I'm also writing in my lyrics, of course. Of course, because I feel like I'm a survivor in a way that I've paved my road on my own. And I've been so goddamn lucky that to be having this freedom that I'm having to be able to create music that I love and that there are people receiving that. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I can't be more grateful. And this is why I'm also encouraging in my lyrics and my texts for people to, live your life, don't care the rest. Because no one else can live it for you.
that's right. Only you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. One of the most fascinating moments on the album for me also was the Trace Outlives with, of course, the incredible Sayo
Komada.
Komada. I don't want to pronounce it incorrectly.
Yes,
On
no, no,
shamisen. Before hearing it, I had never come across the concept of Johatsu before. People who intentionally vanish and begin entirely new lives. The more I learned about it, the more haunting and strangely human it became. What was it that first drew you to that phenomenon, and what was it about these stories that made you feel like they belonged on Frisson Noir?
it was just, I was scrolling in social media. I was scrolling like, and then suddenly, because I've been lately, me and my family, we've been lately interested in traveling to Japan. It's been too long since I was there even performing. Like, and my daughter now being a teenager, it would be interesting for her to see that culture and really get to feel the culture is very different from anything else. And we've been just talking about Japan, and maybe my phone is listening. I don't know.
Yeah, right,
I don't
exactly.
know. And then you get to you're scrolling in
Start
social
scrolling
media,
through.
and then
Yeah,
suddenly, boom, Johatsu, what is this? I just start checking it and like, what? Interesting. Is this real? First of all, is the feeling like, is this real? And
yeah,
I went for it. It was really inspiring. And I said, it's just the fact that, what happens when a person, what has needed to happen in order that to, in order for you to get to that place that you want to just disappear. And then I link the whole world situation. Then I thought about the whole craziness that we have in this world of today, and we live in this
yeah.
chaotic place today, and there is just so much uncertainty, and we don't know what to expect and where this is going to be, and the third world war, what is gonna be happening? All
Yeah,
this. So I linked into that, and I started creating images in my head, and like I really got very hooked with the fact just by reading in social media, and then getting more into it and checking it out. Johatsu. It's a real thing, and yeah, wow. It's very emotional.
it is. It is. Thinking about people um, who feel like they don't have any other choice but to have to
Yeah.
vanish or disappear, for lack of
Yeah.
better words,
So
right?
funny to
Yeah,
keep on living, but have nothing to do with your past and just
yeah,
create new future, completely new beginning. It's interesting. Hmm.
yeah. Very, very. So my final question for you today, Taria. Imagine 25 years from now, a young
Oh,
artist sits across from
shit.
you and says, a young artist sits across from you and says that Um, I'm terrified that one day people will only remember the version of me that already exists. Knowing everything that you've lived, what would you tell them?
Oh God, you don't give me any hard time here. Uh, no, you don't need to worry what the people will think. You don't need to, because you know it in your heart yourself. You know it yourself. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone else. You know how you've lived. You know what have been your decisions, directions in life, and people, in a way, we don't change. We try to, but we have a very short memory in a way that we
Yeah.
forget. We try to learn from our mistakes, but eventually we don't that much. It's been on repeat, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in a way, don't you worry. There is no need to worry about those things because you are who you are, and that is all what matters to you at the end of the day. It's you, your life, and mm, just like that. Mm.
Staying true to that. Yeah.
Mm.
That's beautiful. And Tadia, one final thing. Are there any plans for a US tour?
Oy, oy, oy. We are working on the touring. We're working on the tour dates all the time, constantly, really
Of
closing
course.
the date
Yeah.
down. And US obviously is in our talks and minds and wishes and everything. So I really just need to find a good partner in US to bring me over. But that's
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
are really working on it, and I would really love my last tour in US was amazing. I really enjoyed it very much, and really hopefully this album will bring me over to you. And but I want to thank you for the support and love and that I'm receiving from US because really, absolutely, it's incredible that
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
are there.
All right. Well, Tadia, thank you again so much for your time today. It's been an honor discussing the album with you. For those watching, if you haven't heard Frisson Noir yet, you're absolutely missing out on what to me is a work that has redefined the meaning of legacy. Go check out the link. There's going to be a link in the video description below. You can order your copy there or stream it anywhere where you stream music. Tadia, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day. Or is it day for you? It's early for you,
It
right?
is. It's
Yeah,
9:37.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good morning.
Thank
Hey,
you again, Tadia. Have a great day.
thank you. Bye bye.